Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session of Bardic Quest, the show where a group of British trained actors tell fantastical, improvised stories through the medium of Dungeons and Dragons. No news to speak of this time around, but I do want to just remind you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you're listening on podcast, don't forget to subscribe and also leave a review because that helps the algorithms and stuff to promote the show. Previously, after interrogating the goblin Splug, the party of Saga, Thorik, Sergei, and Johan ventured into the cave, functioning as the goblin hideout in the hopes of rescuing Sildar and perhaps finding clues as to the whereabouts of Gundren Rockseeker. Using Splug as their guide, the party quickly needed to dodge a couple of flood traps, and so assuming that their element of surprise had been compromised, Johan attempted to slit the throat of the goblin Splug. However, he was too quick for Johan, and after Sergei stepped aside to let him pass, Splug escaped into the forest outside. Thorik quickly spotted another goblin on watch, stationed on a rope bridge above them in the tunnel that they were navigating, and so the group made quick work of it, following an arrow to the eye from Saga. Deciding to favour caution, Johan felt that attempting to sneak further into the caves was the best course of action. However, Johann's instructions to the rest of the group were delivered louder than expected due to Johan compensating for the loud sounds of running water going through the cave system. Thorik helped Johan use the remaining oil to create a makeshift incendiary grenade, which he threw into the oncoming cave. However, he overestimated the degree to which he needed to throw it, and it just simply landed in the stream in the next room. So, following that failed attempt, Johan then snuck up to look into the next chamber, getting a glimpse of the room, as well as the three goblins with bows at the ready, pointed in the direction of the tunnel that they are entering from. So, let's get into it. Johan, you're looking into this cavern, which clearly had these two large pools of water, which are now emptied. There's a narrow waterfall high in the eastern wall, which feeds these pools and drains out on the western end of the chamber, going past kind of this set of stairs that you're on, and heading straight towards the cave mouth below and back from where you came. There is low field stone walls serving as dams holding the water, or what would have held the water in, but these have now been broken apart to let the floods through. There's a wide exit to the south, which is to your right as you're looking in, and there's a passage leading west behind you, the one you're coming up from, and another just around the corner from where you are. And of course the sound of the waterfall echoing through the cavern, making it quite difficult for you to hear. There are three goblins waiting. I need you to roll a stealth check for me, please, just to see whether or not they've spotted your head just poking up over these steps.
No problem. That would be a 16.
Okie dokie. Okay. As you poke your head up above the steps, almost instantly, one of them releases their bow.
No.
I need initiative, please, guys.
Oh, no. Already.
Externally.
4 arrows.
Oh, are you serious?
17.
Should I use my real?
Unnatural 20.
Hey!
Unnatural 20. Just hold
18.
fire on those initiative numbers for a second, whilst I punch them in. So, Johan,
17.
17. Sergey, you said an unnatural 20. Saga,
Yeah.
5.
5. Thorik,
16.
16. Okay, and I also need to roll for you guys, which is okay. So, the turn order is going to be Sergey, Johan, Thorik, goblins, Saga. Okay? So, Sergey, you are up. You've obviously aware that there are the goblins up there, because Johan will have given you the nod. So, what would you like to do? You are currently behind Thorik on this staircase leading up to this cavern. Actually getting in the room is probably going to take you about 20 feet or so to get into the room, and you can't actually see where the goblins are at this point. Because also, you don't have dark vision. It's only Thorik that has dark vision, isn't it?
Is my light... Did I
have a
still
torch.
have my light going?
And you have your light going.
I think you had your light going, yeah.
I think I mean, we basically knew that they knew we were here, so I just left it going, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to make my way up to Johan. Kind of crouch behind him. Thank you, Johan. Peek through and cast Vicious Mockery to hopefully intimidate the initial goblin that fired an arrow.
Okay, so I'm guessing then they need to make a save, is that right?
Yes, so they must succeed on a wisdom save or take a d4, and then it'll have a disadvantage on its next attack roll if it fails as well.
Okay, well, let's see. What's the DC we're looking at?
It's only a 12.
Okay. Well, a 7 is going to do it.
Aha!
So you've moved up behind Johan, that's right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'd
so you
like
can see
to
him.
kind of start whispering, muttering, and the whispers kind of echo towards them. I'd like to say, "You smelly little thing, you cannot shoot very well." Don't know.
Look at my feet and go, you talking to me?
Towards that goblin. Do I roll a
Okay.
d4?
Sure, yeah.
2 hit points.
2.
Magical spells. Yes, 2
Okay.
hit points, and it has disadvantage on its next roll, I believe.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you see this goblin just kind of like grabbing at its head as it kind of almost can't take your abuse. But it's kind of overwhelmed with this anxiety and insecurity in its own abilities. Nice move. Okay, anything else you'd like to do? You've got another 10 or so feet if you want to move into the room of movement.
I'd just like to tap Johan on the back and just say, "You're doing a good job, Johan," and just stay.
Okay, nice.
Kind of like in a tone that says now's not the time. But thank you.
Johan, you're up.
Okay, I think it would be best if for now I crouch behind one of the you mentioned walls, like short walls.
You'd have to kind of dive into one of the pools to
alcoves?
do that.
The alcoves, yes, the alcoves.
Yeah, you'd have to dive into one of the walls, into one of the pools for that.
Yeah, I think I'll do that just to take some kind of cover because I'm a bit wary of arrows.
Okay, sure. I mean, these are quite deep.
How deep?
Probably about 10 feet or so.
Can I get out of them once I get in them?
I mean, you can certainly try. You'd have to climb out.
Okay.
It's entirely up to you. I just want to make you aware of quite literally what you'd be getting yourself into.
And I will lie prone.
Okay.
I will crawl, army style, towards the goblins.
Okay, you've only got about 10 feet between you and the goblin that's just faced the vicious mockery.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be able to crawl very far before you were at his feet, is the only thing to be aware of.
Okay. Then I might just run over and stab him then.
If all else fails, you just stab the bastard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Is that what you want to do?
Or do I wait for Thorik and have an actual shield between myself and the arrows?
Well, the thing to be aware of is you are kind of fighting in dim light at this point because of where Thorik is and his light source.
And I presumably have like thrown my torch to free.
Oh yes,
my
you do
two
have your
hands.
torch. Sorry, yes, my apologies. Yes, you
Yeah.
do have your torch. Yeah, so you don't have disadvantage from being in dim light because you got the torch. So
Do I have enough
Ignore
light
that.
to fight with?
absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
if you've
cool.
got a torch on you, absolutely.
Okay, I might disrupt arrow flow then, and run, and I mean run, because I'm
Okay.
trying to stop these arrows, and go to the bullied goblin, and try another leaping stab.
Okay, you love that leaping stab.
I do.
Go for it.
Right. I'ma hit him with my rapier. Oh, it's a 9, not a 6. And 9 plus 5 is 14.
I'm afraid he just blocks it with his shield. It doesn't
Again.
quite penetrate, I'm afraid. You were very, very close, though. Very, very close. Okay, so you're now engaged with this goblin. Luckily, he's got disadvantage on his next roll because of his vicious mockery. Is there anything you'd like to do before we move on to Thorik?
No. I think
Okay.
that's keep it like that for now. Wait
Sure.
for my party to pull me out of the proverbial, like they always do.
Okay, awesome. So, Thorik. Sergei's just kind of sprinted past you, hurled abuse at one of the goblins, and you've seen Johan kind of run in and try and do something. You're kind of tucked around the corner, so you still can't see into the room at this
Cool.
point.
He, as battle is joined, Thorik kind of gives Saga like a nod and just sort of goes, "Oh well, here we go again." And charges around the corner. So this hairy ball of light with his illuminated shield just goes barreling towards this pack of goblins. And I'm going to probably run towards the same one Johan has gone for. I'm going to like take a little skip over Sergei and just sort of whirl round to kind of like dazzle it with my shield before the hammer comes round. The hammer comes down!
Nice. Okay.
People's hammer.
Yeah, so you've got enough movement to get just into position. So you kind of run up the steps into the room, and to your right is Johan engaged with this goblin, and you kind of just slide into his left. And to your left is like a stalactite, kind of providing you a little bit of cover,
Cool.
whilst you engage with this other goblin,
Cool.
the one that's been bullied, the bullied goblin.
Love that. And bully him we shall with a dirty 20.
Ooh, nice. Okay, give me the damage.
Ooh, a 7 on the dice, so that is 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wow, how are you finishing him?
Oh, literally, it's just like, he just completely overcooks it and just smacks this goblin, and the goblin, like, his head hits the floor before the rest of his body. He just kind of like inverts the goblin. He's like, oh, that went well. So it gives Johan like a little punch on the shoulder. He's like, right, who's next?
Nice. Okay. So the one goblin is down in front of Johan and Thorik, just a clump on the floor, really. From where you are, Johan and Thorik, essentially on the other side of the stalactite that is kind of providing you cover is one of the other goblins. And then there is another goblin further into the room who's right near that southern entrance that I mentioned before. Okay? So the goblin on the other side of the stalactite he's just going to... Actually, I was going to do something different, but I'm going to do it this way now. He is going to actually step backwards into the room, further away from Johan and Thorik, just to try and get some space between you all. So he's going to head right into the back corner near where the waterfall's coming in. And he's going to fire off an arrow at Johan.
Yeah, thought so.
But I'm guessing that a 6 against your AC is going to miss.
Yes.
And it just kind of impales itself into the wall just behind you.
I look at him.
Sergey, you've also seen this arrow kind of right in front of you hit the wall right in front of you. The other goblin, he is going to actually peg it up the stairs through this southern entrance. And out of the room.
Someone shoot him!
Okay. So that then means that Saga, you are up. Okay. So you are currently on the staircase. You've seen Thorik and Johan run in. You've seen Sergey kind of hurl his abuse from a distance, and you just hear Thorik going, "Oh, that went better than expected." What do? You can't see into the room at this point.
So
You're still on
away.
the staircase. Yeah.
The goblin that ran away, he's not running towards us, he's running away.
Yes.
Right, okay. I'm going to run into the room then.
Okay.
So I can see what's happening.
Now, the difficulty that you've got is you could get into the room just about with one movement. But because the other goblins moved right into the back of the cave, you're not going to be within melee range, even with... Or maybe you could just get into melee range with a dash. I don't know if you've got... Oh, you do have a crossbow, don't you?
I do have a crossbow. So I'm going to get into the room.
Okay, awesome.
Can I see them?
You can, because Thorik has got his light on, as does Johan with his torch, so you can see for sure.
Let's try and crossbow one of them, then.
Okie dokie. So there's the one at the back of the room, and then there's the other one that's left, so you've only got one target really in here.
Yep. Okay.
Oh no.
A natural one.
No!
If that hits me, I swear to God.
Josh, don't give him ideas.
with my attack bonus, it is a 5.
Okay.
With me,
You essentially fail to load the crossbow properly as you're quickly trying to get him before he runs away as well. Okay. So you kind of rush and fumble so you just don't fire anything at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You're being kind. I didn't smack myself in the face with it, and I was a nosebleed.
Oh no, and that as well. Okay, so anything? I don't suppose there is anything else you've got left to do, is there? Okay, no worries.
Humiliation is enough, thank you.
So that brings us to the top of the round then. Sergey, what would you like to do? You're currently on the staircase looking into the room. There's a mushy goblin on the floor in front of Johan and Thorik. From where you are, really, it's difficult for you to really be able to see the other goblin. So if you're probably going to have to get into the room, I would have thought, at this point.
Would I have enough movement to catch up with the other goblin?
Which one? The one at the far end of the room, or the one that's left?
Running away, yeah.
That's a good question. Let me see. I would say you'd have to dash to get there.
Remind me how dash works.
So
again.
dash is basically you use up your action to move twice.
Okay.
Basically. So you'd be able to get there, but you wouldn't be able to do anything once you get there, essentially. Unless you have a bonus action.
Okay. I've got a bit of a stupid idea. I therefore wish to dash, kind of just muttering to himself, just to love a good chase, pulling out the rapier and kind of dragging it along the stone as he chases the goblin. And then as he reaches him, could I intimidate him? Or kind of
Sure.
goad him
Okay.
into attacking me? Oh,
Sure.
look, poor little halfling all on his own.
Okay, sure.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Give me an intimidate check then, please.
That's a 19
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
plus 4 intimidation.
Okay, so, okay, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna give him the frightened condition,
Oh,
just for ease. So basically, he's gonna have only for 1 round. So he's gonna have disadvantage against you and on ability checks or attacks, and can't willingly move towards you for the next round. Okay?
Yeah. Just shake him up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Johan, what would you like to do? So you've just seen Sergei run past you, sprint into the other room, straight past you. You've got the goblin at the far end who still hasn't taken any damage at all. He's just fired off an arrow at you. What would you like to do?
I think I know what I'm about to do. I'm gonna stab. I cast stab on on the goblin that hasn't run away.
Okay, so you're going to run to the other end of the room
Mm-hmm.
and cast stab.
Yeah. In attempt to try and like go all the way through him and into the cave wall behind him.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I'm gonna try a different D20 this time and see how the gods will favour me. Which is not very much, because that's a 13.
I'm afraid not. No, doesn't pierce his armor, I'm afraid.
Well, I wave it intimidatingly in front of him.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
Okay, tell you what I do. You know in Zorro, when he gets out his sword and he lets it glint in the firelight, menacingly.
You just do a flurry,
Yeah.
Kind of
a
do
little
a-
kind-
yeah. Style
Well-
it out.
Johan
Okay.
attempts to style out his massive blunder.
Okay. So, Thorik, you see Johan run past you towards the goblin, do a thrust move, but kind of then like do a lovely flurry that doesn't seem to do much at all, but it looks very nice. What would you like to do?
so there's one goblin next to Johan. Can I see the goblin that Sergei has gone after?
No, he's in the
That's
next
right.
room completely.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's all right. In which case, I will. Do I do this? Maybe. No, I'm gonna just go in. I am going to go in and cast hammer. Sorry, I couldn't resist. He's just gonna go straight in again, just like this ball of energy. Because we're in a cave, he's actually quite at home. Like he can still swing his arms really well, so he sort of does like he runs up behind his shield, and this time he's gonna kind of bring the hammer up like an uppercut under the goblin's chin
Oh, nice.
and thwack that gobble in the chin. Oh yeah, that's a 19.
Oh, that'll do it.
Okay,
God. It's a massacre.
fighting in caves. Oh, just drop my D8. I'm just gonna be back in a moment. I'm back. Okay, it's less good, but that is 4 bludgeoning, 4 hammer damage.
4 hammer damage.
It's hammer
Okay.
time.
So you thwack him on the chin. It looks like it really, really hurts, but you don't quite connect enough to knock him out, unfortunately.
It's all right.
But he's
I'm
in
just
a lot
there
of
with the
pain.
goblin. I'm just like, right. You weren't expecting a hairy dwarf down there, were you? He's not quite got his like smack talk down. He's like, you weren't expecting me, were you?
Nice.
He looks at your head like, was that
That's
you?
what happens when you don't know vicious mockery.
Yeah. Okay. And is there anything else you'd like to do?
I don't think I can do anything else. I've used my action
You've
up.
moved, and
I've
so unless you've got a
moved.
bonus action of some kind.
I don't believe. See, as cleric, oh, hang on. Oh, okay. I cannot currently,
Okay.
but I do have a bonus action which I might be able to utilise another time.
Okie doke. No problem. So the goblin that you've just smack talked at, it's his move next. So he just kind of screams in your face, and he is going to. No, he's got his short bow out, hasn't he? So I'm probably going to have to concede that and attack with disadvantage at this point. But that's fine. So he's going to try and fire off like a close range shot at you, given that he's now very much cornered between the two of you. So he's going to fire that off, and that is going to be 9 against your AC. Thorik?
No.
No.
I just like hold the arrow so it can't loosen me. Just give it up, son. Give it up.
And he. I know. So,
Didn't like the way you said that.
so as he is cornered, he is going to use his nimble escape feature and disengage from you and leap into one of the empty pools quite successfully, to kind of give some space between you and him. So he's now at the far end of one of these pools. It's only about 15 feet across to the cave wall. So he's now kind of jumped in one of them.
Hey, come back. Yeah, yes, slippery devil, eh?
He just wants a bath.
Oh, he's going to get one.
Oh, we're going to bath the goblin. I tell you now.
Okay, so then we have the other goblin that you are engaged with, Sergey.
Oh no.
Just to give you a little bit of context to the room that you're in, so there are, on the south wall, there are loads of like sacks and crates and stuff, and to your right there is a few stalactites. I'm going to say stalactites. They're the ones coming out of the ground for reference, but I don't know if that's the correct term. It might be stalagmites, but
I think
Stalagmite comes up, tights come down.
in which
Lights hang
case,
down.
stalagmites
It's a stalagmite.
then coming up from the ground to your right, and you can actually see that there's a sort of narrow opening between them that kind of descends into the darkness below. You are currently stood right next to a little campfire with some pots hanging over it, with the goblin that you chased down directly in front of you. He is frightened. Now, he can attack against you, of course, but he'll be doing so with disadvantage, which at this point is what he's going to try and do with his
Come on, little
scimitar,
blue man.
which he's pulled out. So with
Oh,
disadvantage.
I've only got an 11 armor class.
Oh, well, you're lucky because it was a natural 1 on his disadvantage. So he just kind of swings at you desperately and just ends up spinning around on the spot with his momentum.
Sergey kind of gives a little smile. It's probably quite cute, actually, to Sergey. Oh. Tried your hardest.
Okay. Saga, you're up.
Okay, I'm
on,
going to get into melee range with one of these goblins.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah, you've just got. Well, the only way, because you're currently at the entryway
Yeah.
to this cave, so you'd have to either To get into melee range, you'd either have to jump into one of the pools, or follow Sergei into the next room.
I'm gonna follow Sergei into the next room.
Okay, sure. So you can either get into the entryway, or if you want to get into melee with that goblin, you would have to go for a dash. So do you want to go to the entryway and go ranged, or dash to get into melee?
Entryway and crossbow.
Okay.
I do want to attack.
Sure. Awesome.
Right.
Okay.
Come on.
I believe in you.
23.
Yes.
That'll do it. Okay, let's roll for damage then.
Yes, I'm doing that on the. Oh well. Three damage.
Oh no. Okay. Well, still, it's something.
Yeah.
So you run across this cave, up the steps leading into this southern cave. You see Sergei looking pitifully at this other goblin, and just quickly fire off a crossbow round. This time loading it successfully, and you get this goblin straight in the shoulder. Very similar to how Johan's wounds have been in the past.
Ew. Not cool.
I suppose that's probably you done then, isn't it?
Yep.
Saga. Okay. Right. So, Sergei, then you are up.
Okay. Seeing that he's been slightly jilted by the crossbow bolt, I'm gonna kind of close the rest of the distance off.
Yep.
I'm going to slide along the floor and try and take his legs out with my rapier,
Ooh, nice. Go for it.
leaving an open gap for Saga to come in and behead him. 15.
That's just about going to hit.
Oh.
Just about.
Ugh.
Okay, and then damage is what do I add to damage? Is it just the D8?
So it'll be D8 plus, I think it will be your bonus based on either your dexterity, I think. It's been a long time since I've had to break it down, but yeah, that's what I think it is.
Four hit points of damage then.
Okay. Oh, okay. In which case, how are you finishing him?
Yes.
Oh my god! Yeah. So I slide. It doesn't really show up. I slide along the floor, taking out his leg, and then kind of as I go up to finish him off, I assume he's already probably bleeding out. So I'm just gonna look at Saga, and just to kind of prove that I can also fight these goblins, I'm just gonna press down on the wound.
Oh,
Ooh.
dark.
And just oh hi Saga. Look what I found! It's a room full of crates and sacks.
Well done, Sergei.
Johan, you've still got this goblin in your sights in the pool beneath you.
We're like two sinister lifeguards, just waiting.
Well, what I want to do now is find my oil flask. Have a little bin fire.
Well, that's kind of floating back towards the way you came.
So it's still there. Can I see it?
Yeah, it's kind of back to the other side of the
Sadly.
room, though, kind of floating. You know the staircase that you were kind of creeping up? It's kind
Like
of
a message in a bottle.
just floating past that.
Right. Okay. You said these holes are about 10 feet deep, and
Yes.
goblins are how tall?
So the pools have been emptied because of the flood traps that you experienced earlier.
Yeah.
So the water's actually only about ankle height at this point, maybe knee height at most.
But can a goblin get out?
Well, it could climb out,
Right.
kind of like you'd have to.
Okay. So
yeah,
I can't
but I
like
mean, it
leave
would-
him. Well, I construct an elaborate oil grenade and then.
Well, I mean, he might not successfully climb out every time. It would take a athletics check for him to climb out, but
Oh.
there's the possibility that he could climb out.
If only one of us had a lightning spell. That would be fun. I kind of look at the dwarf, and we both know what one of us is going to have to do at some point. So I kind of offer a hand to say, you want to go get him?
He is pretty heavily wounded at this point, following the hit to his jaw from Thorik's hammer.
Thorik, if I'm allowed to, Thorik kind of nods to be like, I can tidy up here if you like.
I offer a hand that says, be my guest. And put my rapier away. I'm sick of goblin. And I proceed to follow Sergei and Saga.
Okay. So you head into the room as well.
Albeit blue-balled, I haven't killed anything in ages.
Is there anything that you want to do in that room? Or, because you've still got an action, and you could still move around the room a little bit, as it's your turn, unless you want to just wait for now.
If that goblin is still alive that Sergei just hamstringed, then I could excitedly, as if to go and maybe finish him off, like quickening my step a little without letting them know what I'm doing. You know, like that kind of going onto the dance floor walk.
Sure.
Oh, the overtake walk.
Yeah, that's it. The Londoner.
Sergei, for clarity, did you finish him off?
I think he is dying slowly.
Okay.
So I don't think he's dead yet. He's bleeding.
Use that knowledge however you like to, Johan.
Okay, I go up to him and attempt to give him the coup de grace with my dagger, if I'm close enough to him.
Sure. Let's just for the sake of seeing how this plays out, let's roll to hit with this with advantage because he's prone.
Please don't hit me.
5. 17.
Okay. So how are you executing him then, as he's already dying? How are you finishing him off?
If he's already prone, I kind of like put a foot on him, press him down, dagger out, and yeah, best not play it too fancy. Straight through the neck into the floor.
Oh wow, you saved us.
Oh, hi, Johan. You're safe.
Brave.
Thank you so much.
Stupid goblin
Hero.
keeps shooting me in the face.
Okay, Thorik. Everybody else has left you to deal with this goblin in the pool. What would you like to do?
Is this goblin still armed?
Yes.
What do they look like? What's their countenance currently? What's their
Well, they have a very clearly dislocated jaw, which is causing them a lot of pain. In terms of what they're armed with, they currently have. They've now taken out their scimitar. No, they haven't. Sorry, they've got their bow still. Sorry. So they got their bow. They are armed with leather armor and shield as well. So obviously the shield's kind of down at the side.
so their shield's not equipped at the moment?
Not as of right now. They've had to abandon
Because
it
that's all right.
because of range.
Cool. In which case, Thorik's just going to like step up to the side, and he's going to just sort of look down on this goblin, almost kind of like pitting at this stage, but he still kind of knows what has to be done for them to get out of this, and any goblin that escapes could cause further damage. So he, with his shield round his hand, he kind of like lifts it to behind his head, so the light is kind of backlighting him, and his rings start to glow. And as he makes a fist, he points his warhammer at the goblin and casts Sacred Flame. So it kind of like charges down his arm and shoots this blast of radiance at the goblin.
Nice. Okay.
So that is a dex save DC 12.
Okay, let's see what we get. Natural 20.
Oh.
Thorik just kind of looks at him like,
Is there any half damage on the Sacred Flame, or is it just a miss?
Let's find out. No, it's succeed on or take 1d8. So it's a save or suck.
Ah, that's a shame.
It is.
Because that looked very impressive.
It just blasts past the visa.
Just kind of hits the floor, just like the puddle that he's kind of wading through, and just kind of...
So, Thorik, what you have done is made a very shallow, very tepid hot tub.
Yeah. Thorik's gonna act like he meant to do that. And
There's a lot of that going around.
He's gonna look at the creature, and if you'll allow me, he's gonna be like, "Get out now."
I will allow you to make an intimidation roll with disadvantage if you'd like.
Very kind of you. Oh, okay. Four.
He just you see him kind of chuckle and just point his bow and arrow at you.
How does one chuckle with a dislocated jaw?
Well, it's
Blood comes out. as he chuckles.
I'll use the rest of my movement to back away from the ledge then, so he can't shoot me.
Good
Just
move.
put my shield up.
Good move.
And just like on one knee, just like stupid.
But you're staying in the room, are you?
I guess I'll have to if I've not got enough movement. I'm gonna like basically back up so that if he climbs out, I'm there
Sure.
waiting for him.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so it's then this goblin's turn. Yeah, he's probably not got line of sight of you because of how far you backed up. Oops. In which case, I mean, you can still just about see him. He actually, as he can't see you, and the alternative is to climb up to find you, he's actually going to dart towards the stream headed out back the way you came. And I don't imagine you actually have a reaction to deal with him, do you?
Nope.
Okay, so he gets the hell out of dodge, basically, and just dashes out of the cave.
Good.
Which I suppose takes us out of initiative.